Seamus.
Hi, I'm Alana.
And welcome to PlanetPyramid!
Okay, so we're going to be making a chocolate-covered apple cider cake, which you can use for your Halloween parties. So let's get started.
The first thing you do before cooking is wash your hands.
We're going to turn on the oven. You can line your pan with a silicone sheet or parchment paper.
Here's my secret for sifting flour, a mesh strainer. The dry ingredients for the cake: flour, and then sugar, brown sugar, and then baking powder, salt, and baking soda. To sift, bring it up, turn it on its side, and hit it. Use a whisk to combine all the ingredients like so. Now we're going to prepare the apple.
Then we're going to put it in the food processor.
Seamus, we're not supposed to be wearing our costumes yet.
Oh.
Now pulse the apples in the food processor. Your apple pieces should look like this. Now our wet ingredients. Okay, we're going to first put in the cider, and then we have the applesauce that we need to put in. Okay, and then there's soy milk, rice milk, or any non-dairy milk. And then we need vinegar and vanilla extract. Okay, now we're going to put in a little almond extract. Now we're going to whip it up. Put the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Whip it up. Put the apples in the bowl and whip it up, and then put it in the pan.
Tap the bottom a couple of times to make sure all the air bubbles are at the top. When the cake's ready, put it in the oven.
It's done!
The timer went off, and now we have to see if the cake is ready.
I think it's done. There's basically nothing on the toothpick.
We're going to let the cake cool, and then we're going to put on the chocolate.
These chocolate chips aren't melted yet. We're going to put them in for another 10 seconds. If yours aren't melted like ours, you put them in for another 10 seconds too. But only put them in for 10 seconds at a time, or else they could get burned. Put in the milk and whip it up. Your chocolate ganache should be thick, but thin enough to pour. Now that my cake is completely cool, I'm going to put my ganache on. Make sure to put the ganache directly in the center so that it spreads over everywhere. And you can use whatever type of spreader or knife you want to spread it around. While the cake was cooling, we cut out a stencil. Now that the cake is completely cooled, we're going to use our sifter and put some powdered sugar in it and then make a gravestone. Tap the sifter so that all the powdered sugar gets out. It doesn't matter if you go over the stencil, just make sure every part of the cake is covered with powdered sugar. Now, we very carefully remove the stencil. We finished the cake, but we couldn't put the stencil on it or try it because Alana had to leave. But now that we caught her out of our Irish dance class, we're going to try it.
This is really good.
Chocolate has a nice start, and the cake kind of adds in, but the chocolate lasts the whole time of the bite.
The chocolate's my favorite part.
The Diva made it. It's awesome.
Chocolate-covered apple cider cake.
Alright. So we're gonna make a chocolate apple cider Okay. Chocolate covered apple cider cake. Sifting.
The chocolate should be thick enough to pour, but thin enough to be thin.
It's really good. I like the cake.
What's your option?
Alana didn't eat we ate alien soup.